In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at some basic functions of Worldedit to help you better administer your server, correct problems that may occur on your server from griefers, uh, and just be able to build over a very large area very quickly. This property here was built using Worldedit. This is an example of some of the stuff you can do with it. You know, flattening this area here, it was mountainous like this. The underground workshop that I have here, clearing this space out was all done using Worldedit because it's just easy and you can cover a large area very quickly. I'm not going to show you all of the functions of Worldedit here because frankly, I'm not well versed in how to use some of them, but I will show you the functions that I use regularly, and maybe that'll help you in your world with things that you would like to do. So let's just do some basic functions of Worldedit, and I will show you some of the things that you can do with it. So Worldedit in your menu, at least in Unified Inventory, is this globe with the red dot on it. That's going to be your Worldedit menu, and there's a bunch of different functions in here. Get and set region, this is probably where I spend most of my time, right here in this screen. So let's say that you want to clear out an area or you want to build something over a large area, um, and you want to do it quickly. Well, we have this little beginning of a castle structure here. Let's go ahead and build a wall. So we're going to select position 1, and you just come over here and tap position 1. If you want to raise it up, you raise it up. So we can just do something like that, position 1, and then we go over to position 2. Now there's a couple of ways to select position 2. I like to just put some blocks up there and select position 2 like this, and you'll see that this grid pattern is selected. But you can also just move your character to a position and just put position 2 here, and it'll just select it wherever you are. But I like to do it this way. It may be a little bit more cumbersome, but it's what I'm used to. And this is where the commands come into play. So we can spawn any item we want into here. So let's say that we're trying to build a wall from this. We're going to go // set space and then the name of the node. So let's just do cobble. And see, we just turned that into cobblestone. We can do brick. You know, we can build a lot of things very quickly. But Worldedit does create some artifacts here. You notice when we did that, there are some shadow artifacts happening. You see these little lines here? This is always going to happen. You're going to end up with like this checker pattern grid on your map. So if you use Worldedit, before you unselect your area, you should do fix light. And that actually recalibrates the lighting and gets rid of that checker pattern. There is a GUI button for this as well, right here, fix lighting. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty simple. There are also a couple other features that we can use here. Let's go ahead and remove this wall that we just built. We'll do that by typing set air, and it's gone. Our little artifact shadows are back, so fix light, that goes away. Reset region, and everything is back to normal. So that's a very basic way to use Worldedit. Some other functions that you can do with it is you can replace existing nodes with other nodes. Air is also considered a node. So you see this big hole in the ground? Instead of coming in here and filling it in block by block, we can fill it in using Worldedit. So we'll just select an area here, choose position 1, and choose position. You don't want to put it too high up. Let's dig into here a little bit, just so it's even with the surrounding landscape, and we'll choose position 2. So now this area is selected. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do the replace command. So I'm going to // replace. We were going to replace air with dirt. And it didn't change anything that wasn't air. You see these little plants that were occupying these spaces? It didn't mess with those because that wasn't considered air. But this entire area here is now filled in with dirt. So that's something else you can do. Always run your fix light command. Always. That is a habit that you should get into. Some other things that you can do with Worldedit is you can dig mines with it. You can replace objects with it. You can copy objects and move them. Like this whole building right here. We could take this building from this location and we can move it to another location. That is probably one of the coolest things you can do with Worldedit. I'll show you that next. So what we're going to do is we're going to select our position 1 right here. We'll go to the other side at an elevated location so we encompass the whole building. And we're going to call this position 2. Okay, and then we're going to go to our main screen and you see there's a save and load feature. Let's go ahead and give it a name. Let's just type in building. Save it. Okay, now you see we're getting a warning on the screen. This operation could affect up to 6880 nodes. So you want to type /y to confirm. Because if you're copying a large area, there is a default limit. It will ask you to confirm so you don't, mess up large parts of the map. So let's go ahead and unselect that region. Let's go to a new location and see if we can bring that building with us. This is a nice flat spot over here. Now we did select that at ground level, so we might want to put a block on the ground to start with. Putting it on the side of a hill, you're going to have some hollow space underneath that you're probably going to have to build up. But hey, we could use Worldedit for that. So let's stick it right here. We'll go a block above the ground. Well, actually, since we're right on the edge of this, let's go here with it. 1 block above, position 1. Okay, go back to our load save function, and we'll load the building in. There we go. We just made a copy of that building over here. But you will notice that it is in the same orientation and position as it was before. So it looks a little goofy, but Worldedit, this is where the Worldedit comes into play. So we can go ahead and choose position 1. We don't want to mess up our floor, so let's come down 1. This will be choose position 1. And we'll go to the opposite corner. We'll just dig down here, it doesn't matter. And then this will be position 2. And then we'll just make this dirt. Set dirt. /y to confirm. And we filled it in. And remember, we just spawned in something new, so we want to fix our lighting. Don't forget that step. Fix light. /y. And there we go. Let's unselect the area. And there we go. We just made a copy of a building. Let's make it daytime again so we can see what we're doing. Now the flag is different for some reason. It gave us the gay pride flag when it's the American flag on the other building, so it's not perfect. I guess that's just the default flag for that flag mod. See, over here it's the American flag, and when we respawned it over here, it gave us the rainbow flag, but it's not going to be perfect. But we can very easily change that to the flag that we want. No big deal. But from here, well, you see we kind of miscalculated where to spawn in the dirt here, but we could just go right back into it and do it again and just build it up. So instead of building up this hillside like you would do normally, you could just build it one row at a time. Just world edit in one row here, another row here, another row here, another row here, and then you can just make a natural looking hill without having to lay every single block. Let's say that you have a structure that you're tired of and want to get rid of. Well, you could just replace it with air and it'll delete it from the map. Worldedit also has a couple of other nifty things built into it. There is some automatic building functions like pyramid, dome, sphere, and you can build something very quickly just by pushing the button for a pyramid or a sphere or a dome. So let's demonstrate that because that's kind of fun. Let's go to let's go sphere and dome. Let's go. Okay, before I'm getting ahead of myself, before we do that, we need to find a center point for this dome. So let's take the flag off the building. Let's put a couple of blocks here. You do not have to put blocks like I'm doing. I just do this as a visual reference just for myself because it's how I work. So we'll just make that our center point. We're going to go ahead and choose position 1 on that. We're going to go here to sphere dome. Let's go ahead and choose a material. Let's use glass. Radius, let's make a big dome on this thing. Let's go 200. And then we'll go hollow dome. And then we need to YY confirm. Did it work? It worked. But the dome is so big, I didn't see it at first. Here it is way up here. I put the entire map under the, maybe I probably shouldn't have made it this big. But here it is. We made a giant dome around our building. I really made it too big, didn't I? I should have gone 20 instead of 200. But yep, here's our dome. This reminds me of that episode of The Simpsons where they were under the dome. Let's try that again, something that makes a little bit more sense, huh? All right, this time let's put our center point a little bit lower as well, just for the sake of it. Now I'm going to take the center out. You do not need to do this. This is just how I do it because I kind of need the visual reference. So we'll just select position 1 here. Okay. And then let's go back to our menu and go sphere dome. Glass, let's make it 20 this time. Hollow dome. Yeah, there we go. Now we have a dome inside of the pyramid. So see, you could use this to build things very quickly. It's just a nifty tool. So I also use it to build mines. If I want to dig a mine very quickly, I can do that using Worldedit. So I'll demonstrate how I would do that. Choose position 1 right here. And then we go over here a little ways. So let's go down. Down underground. We're going to go down quite a ways here. That's probably deep enough. And then we'll make this position 2. Let's go back up to the surface. Okay. Now let's go ahead and do // set air. And it's going to ask us to confirm. And there you go. We just dug a big hole in the ground very, very quickly. There you go. You could do a lot with this. But you see the lighting isn't quite right in here. It's still the same lighting as before. So remember, fix light. Now, the lighting should behave normal again. Yep. Reset region. And there you go. You can also use this to build a road. This is one of the features that it's probably a good use for. So let's say that we want to build a road or a bridge across this water here. Let's just go straight out. Let's get oriented here. Okay. This looks like a good spot to me. So let's go ahead and choose position 1. How wide do we want the road? This looks pretty good. We'll just keep our little crosshairs there. Take my hand off the mouse so we don't drift from side to side. And we'll come across here. And this will be position 2. We want position 2 to be at the same height. And then set tar. Yep. And see, that quickly we just pretty much spawned a road all the way across here. You see, we still have some of those shadow artifacts happening, so fix light and they go away. Always remember that fix light command, or you can go to the button in the GUI to do it. And always remember to reset region so you don't accidentally do something else with Worldedit to the thing you just did by accident because you didn't unselect it. So, but these are some of the basics of Worldedit. I know this video is probably not as good as some that are out there, but I am not an expert with Worldedit. You could probably tell that. I just use it for basic functions like this. Some people would say Worldedit is cheating, but you know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Anyways, those are some of the basic functions of Worldedit. I know this video probably wasn't one of my better ones, but maybe you'll get some of the basic functions of how to use it, and maybe you can take it from there. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.